观众朋友们，大家好，欢迎收看《洋厨房卖家秀买家秀》，我是刘烨。都说呢，生命在于运动。在闲暇的时间呢，很多人都喜欢运动，锻炼身体，比如说跑步啊、打羽毛球、游泳等等。那么在运动之后，你知道该吃些什么来补充能量呢？今天我们的卖家秀啊，就要为大家介绍一下运动之后补充能量的美食。
The humble mussel fritter gets a makeover.
That is why I love seafood.
A staple in our home, hearty gourmet beef burgers.
The magic is in the meat patty.
An uptake on a classic roast chicken that's quick and easy to prepare.
When you have no time to spare, this recipe will help you to have the best, quick and easy roasted chicken and vegetables.
Kei haka kōwhani ake. He keke tiakarete vegan, re karawa atu.
I don't care if it gets stuck in my teeth because it's that damn good. Kutai is probably the most accessible kaimoana. It's available all year round. All my siblings cook kutai fritters and everybody has that secret recipe. Making kutai fritters is definitely something that I've been brought up doing. Gonna zhuzh it up, add a couple of ingredients that you may not see traditionally in a fritter. But hey, we're here to try new things, make it rustic, make it quick and make it easy.
Tuatahi ake. A mussel fritter stack with cream fresh and a balsamic glaze.
So first things first, we're going to start by shelling our kutai. So you've got your huru-hurus here. Going to give it a bit of a rub. That gives you a bit of an opening. Each kutai shell has two chewing gums, or I like to call them chewing gum parts. One here and one there, and you'll see them when we open it up. Now, I like to open my kutai up around a bowl because I'd like to keep the juices. Cut the gums. So those are the two chewing gum parts that I was talking about. They hold the shell together, and that's what you're aiming for when you're scooping in to open your kutai. What I like to do with my kutai is I like to cut them up into thirds. Cut that section with the chewing gum, the middle section, and then I love to leave the tipple bag whole because I don't like it separated. Some people do, and that's kei te pai. This is just how I like to do it.
Next up, let's get the batter ready.
Whisk up one egg. I'm now going to add our kutai and all those juices.
Tāpiri hia te pepa. Te tote, ngā aniana me te kēkana ki te ranunga, ā ka ta kororitia.
We're going to add it raw because it's chopped up finely, and the kutai, as it cooks in the oil, will cook through to the bacon because there's nothing worse than eating a fritter and your bacon is like cardboard. So this way, it allows it to be cooked to perfection.
Tāpiri hia te pārihi.
Give that a bit of a mix up. All right, that batter's looking good. So we're going to add just a little bit of flour, not too much. We don't want it to be too doughy. And a little bit of baking soda.
About a teaspoon.
Now, this sort of process is based on look. I know exactly what I think it should look like and how it should be. So this is just slightly a little bit too runny. It will literally split in our pan. So I'm just going to keep adding a little bit more flour. So we're just going to turn our stove on nice and high. Going to add a little bit of oil that gives the crunchiness or the crispiness to the outside of the fritter. However, I've always believed it is a sin to not cook kaimoana in butter. So we're going in with butter, and there's going to be a lot of it. All right.
Keep the fritters the palm size, but don't overcrowd the pan.
I like to tip my butter over them so that I know that it's getting cooked. Okay, no, I lie. I actually saw that on a TV show and I just thought I'd try it because it looks cool.
Once you can see the bottom of the fritter crisping up, they're ready to be flipped.
Okay, I'm going to flip this. Ooh. Kapai. Those look lovely and ready, so I'm just going to turn that off.
I noia nei, kua ri te tātou ki te hanga I te kina ki balsamic.
In a bowl, we have our reduced balsamic.
balsamic vinegar and a little brown sugar to a pot. Let it reduce for around 10 minutes for a thicker consistency. Add olive oil and a squeeze of lime.
And we're just going to mix that together. There you have it, a beautiful 3-ingredient balsamic glaze. Right, this is the fun part. Don't be shy, you just got to get in there, build it up. These look beautiful.
Heiki naki. Add spring onions.
Some beautiful chilli. We have some crispy shallots, just to add that crunch. And then, of course, to finish off, we're going to add our beautiful balsamic glaze. We don't want too much, we just want to be able to taste it.
Add lime to serve.
And there you have it, Kutai Fritters stack.
Add creme fraiche or sour cream to finish it off.
And that is why I love seafood.
Delicious and simple. And if you're like me and always make too many fritters, make sure to let them cool off before storing them in the airtight container and chilling them in the fridge. Hearty gourmet beef burgers and our quick and easy roast chicken to feed the whānau.
Gourmet burgers. Who doesn't love a good burger? The magic is in the meat patty. This dish is very special to me. This was the first dish that I ever taught my baby how to make, and now she has perfected this recipe, and now you can too.
Nothing beats a good burger, and in our whānau, this recipe is the winner. Using these simple ingredients, transform your boring burger into something delicious.
First things first, we're going to prep all of our kai that needs to go into the mince. The mince is literally the hero of this whole entire dish. And the best thing about this patty, or risole, or whatever you want to refer it to, is that it's something that you take to a barbecue. People kind of look through the meat tray and do the, oh yeah, it's just the risole, until they eat it. And boy, it will knock their socks off. Honestly, it's so delicious. I'm not just saying that.
First, grate some carrot.
Gonna leave the skin on because all the goodness and all the nutrients are in that skin. So the reason why I add grated carrots into this particular mixture is that mince, once it's cooked, can look quite boring. So I add carrots for not only the colour, but it also adds more moistness to the risole. Right, we're going to slice some spring onion. And once again, the reason why I'm using spring onion is for colour. Because traditionally or normally you would use a brown onion, maybe a red onion, but I like my spring onion. This is literally so quick and easy, anybody can do it. So I'm just going to put that all into my bowl. I've removed my jewellery because I do not like mixing things with my jewellery on. And I also think it's also hygienically better. All right, into this mix I'm going to add our mince. We're just going to throw it all in, never measure. Into the mince, garlic. Also I'm going to add some sweet Thai chilli for that bit of a kick, bit of sweetness. Some soya sauce. And lastly, some brown sugar. And mix it all together. Now you're probably wondering why I'm not adding an egg or breadcrumbs to this particular mixture. And the reason for that is that with all the other ingredients that I've added, it actually holds the patty together. And when it's cooking, which you'll see shortly, it creates kind of like a sticky sauce or like a teriyaki sauce around the meat patty, and it adds those little crunchy bits that you love to bite into when you get into your burger. The sweetness of the brown sugar comes through, the little kick of the sweet Thai chili. It's literally a match made in heaven. Once that's all mixed together, we're just going to cover it with some bed wrap, put it in the fridge to chill for about 5 minutes whilst I tidy up and get my pan nice and hot ready to cook. So our meat's chilled, pan's hot, we're going to get ready to cook. So I'm going to add some oil. That shouldn't take very long to heat up at all. So we've got some beautiful, beautiful giant ciabatta buns. So we're going to go for some extra large patties. What you want to do is make them larger than the size that you actually want because they tend to shrink. All right, let's get this going. Okay, let's go in with this patty. Be careful of any oil splatters. One of my tips and tricks when I'm cooking a meat patty is that I like to make sure that I can see my meat has gone brown halfway through. When it's normally there, you know that half of your patty is cooked. You can flip it over and do the second half. Please be careful, this process here with the oil does tend to splatter up. So, one trick I use, tongs in the centre. Beauty. So while those are cooking, I'm going to wash up my hands and get ready to put this burger together.
The burgers are now ready. They've been cooking for 5 minutes each side, so they're ready to plate up.
You can use any cheese in your burger, but for me, to make it gourmet, I love adding camembert cheese. So I'm just going to slice it up, nice big slices. These are going to mount beautifully on top of that meat patty. Let's make magic. First and foremost, we've got beautiful ciabatta buns, fresh, yummy, and I like these purely because of the flavour that it adds, the crunchiness of the top part of the bun. And as you can see, they're nice and big, so any man would love a good big burger. Now, the thing about these burgers is that you can add tomato sauce, aioli, mayo. You can add whatever you like, but for me, how I like it, because all the flavours in the meat patty, I don't add any sauce.
Add your cheese because the patties are still hot and will melt slightly.
This particular part is where my daughter and I like to play noughts and crosses. She always builds up a cross and a noughts board, and that's how she knows or identifies that that's her burger. So just for you, baby, this one is yours. All right, we're just going to add some cucumber. Now, this is where you want to put in any of your pie that's in the fridge. Now, for me, the reason why I haven't added tomatoes, and I'm quite fussy with my burgers, I don't like soggy burgers, I don't like soggy bread, so I opt for beetroot, and beetroot is a great option. It also adds colour, it adds flavour, and beautiful crunch. Red onions, can't go wrong with onions. Might need some chewing gum after you've eaten it, but that's okay. Lastly, always going with the lettuce. On goes the lid. Kwarite, 2 beautiful gourmet burgers. Koe whakama, don't be shy. There ain't no pretty way to eat this burger but to get in there. Do this. Definitely taste that garlic. The cheese is beautiful. It's melted to perfection. Definitely taste the sweet Thai chili of the soya sauce. That patty is moist and it's delicious.
So being a busy mum and going between mahi, kapahaka and being a wife, I'm going to show you how to make the yummiest, tastiest roasted chicken and veggies.
Using these ingredients, here's a quick and easy way to transform the traditional roast chicken and veg.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is prep our veggies. This is the easy part. Like I said, one pot, one hit wonder. Now, I never peel my vegetables, and no, it's not because I'm lazy, because my husband would say that. I leave the skin on all my veggies because all the goodness and all the nutrients are in there. It is a true story. And we're not going to be, fidgety about it, whānau. We're just going to get in there, we're just going to chop it and get it ready. Get into our riwai. And I'm just going to chuck in some fennel.
Fennel not only adds another flavour dimension, but it looks great when roasted.
Right, now this next part, we're going to oil. Now, anytime I use my hands to do cooking, I have this thing about wearing jewellery, so this is the time where I take it off. I'm going to wash my hands, and then I'm going to get in there.
My nanny would always say, a clean cook is a good cook. Nō reira, kia tika te horo I ringa.
Now we're going to oil our veggies, get some rub on. Don't be shy with the oil because, everybody knows that at the end of the roast you've got to get that paka, you've got to scrape that off, so don't be shy on your oil. Just going to get in there. Don't be shy, whānau. Just get in there, give them a good rub. Okay, this is the exciting part. Time to put our chicken in. Now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to tie the legs together. Now the reason why we do this is not because I'm trying to be fancy. Well, I kind of am. When you raise or tie your legs together, it allows the breasts and the legs to cook at the same time, and it makes them really, really juicy. If you didn't tie them up, what tends to happen is that your legs almost dry out and cook 3 times.
If you ever see the term trussing in a recipe, this is basically all it is.
So here we have a bowl of tandoori paste, and this is what I'm going to add to the chicken. Now, you can get this paste from any supermarket, any shop. This paste has all sorts of things like cumin, paprika, coriander. This is what's going to take our roasted chicken to the next level. Not a clean job. It's always going to have something left over. So just put them over your veggies just to add the extra flavour. Get some nice paka on that skin. We have our oven preheated on 180 degrees. This should take roughly about an hour and a half. So enough time to get some washing done, a little bit of mahi. So traditionally you have a beautiful gravy with your roast chicken, but because we've gone for a tandoori flavour, we're going to pair our tandoori chicken up with a beautiful tzatziki sort of sauce, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Just a couple of simple steps.
Start with some plain, unsweetened yogurt, add some mint and Italian parsley.
Going to attempt to do some beautiful smearing. Wow, voila.
Kua kotahi me te hawhi haura te hei e tunua nei te umu. I naia nei kua ri te tātou ki te hora I te kai.
You can see these little paka parts. That's all that tandoori paste. Just going to come in with our veggies. Add some beautiful fennel. Finish her off with some Italian parsley. No time to spare, this recipe will help you to have the best, quick and easy roasted chicken and vegetables.
One pan, 20 minutes prep for a delicious dinner for your whānau. Me pēhia e kore ai. E whai ake nei, I put my friend's vegan chocolate cake to the test.
I'm all about Hera's hard and fast recipes. I'm going to be making for you a chocolate vegan cake. I know what you're thinking, there's no eggs and there's certainly no butter, but this is going to be the best recipe you're ever going to use.
This is a simple recipe using only a few ingredients. Berries and chocolate are the ultimate combination in this cake.
We're going to start with our dry ingredients. We have wholemeal flour. This adds beautiful texture. Cocoa. We're going to add baking soda, and that's the rising agent. Brown sugar.
Another good alternative for this cake and vegan baking in general is coconut sugar.
We're now going to go in with our wet ingredients. Vanilla essence. A new ingredient for all of us, grapeseed oil, and this is going to help the cake to stay moist even 2 days later.
Grapeseed oil has a clean, light taste, which makes it perfect for baking.
And right at the end, we're just going to add a little bit of malt vinegar. So personally for myself, I'm not really a chocolate eater. I know to all you chocolate lovers out there, you're probably thinking, why? But it's just not something that I tend to like. My husband enjoys that I don't like chocolate that much, but this is just next level, I'll tell you. For people like me who don't really like eating chocolate, this is definitely the business. Set this to the side. I'm going to add baking paper just to the bottom so that it can come out easily. I'm going to use some grapeseed oil just to glaze the side. This is honestly one of the easiest cakes that you can make. So there's no raw egg in this, so for me, that's a blessing. Definitely putting it there. So our cake's going to go into our oven, which is preheated at 120 degrees for 30 to 40 minutes. The background behind this, I have a friend at Wakahuia, and she said to me, Auntie, I've got this cake for you. And I know what you're thinking, vegan, where's the eggs, where's the butter? Because that's what makes cakes. Well, that's what I think anyway. She said to me, you're going to love it. And I sat there and I was like, yeah, okay, I'll try it, Auntie. She served it up to me, and let me tell you, it was moist on the inside, crunchy on the outside, and it is, to this day, the best cake that I've ever eaten. So our cake's been in the oven for 40 minutes. We've allowed it to sit and rest and cool down. So now we're going to dress it and make it look delicious. I'm going to flip this out. Hope that it all comes out nicely. Look at that. Peel this off. We're going to go in with some icing sugar. On this keki or on this cake, just go in with any fruit that is available in your season, whether it be strawberries, kiwi fruit, any sort of fruit, any sort of berries. It'll just be beautiful. And we're going to finish it off with some violas, also known as edible flowers. And one last secret ingredient, some beautiful mint. Voila, vegan chocolate cake. Can't wait to taste it. Don't let the kids see it. Definitely taste the crunchiness of that brown sugar. That icing sugar just adds that extra bit of sweetness, and all of our berries add the tartness. It's moments like this where I don't care if it gets stuck in my teeth because it's that damn good.
Me pono aku kōrero. Aha koa te māwari o te tohutaka nei me te korenga o te pata. Koe nei tētahi o ngā kike tiakarete. Reka rawa atu.
运动呢是为了更好的享受美食，而享受美食啊，其实也是为了之后能够更好的运动。好了，我们今天的节目就到这里了，感谢您的收看，下周同一时间不见不散啦。